Hey friends, hey family, my name's Skylent, and it's really chill night. Hopefully it's cool, we just kind of hang out and talk. This is going to be kind of a rant. I mean, it's totally a rant. But if you guys want to hear me talk about anything, I'm sure you're going to let me know in the comments below, but definitely don't be afraid to join my Discord. Links in the description, please and thanks. And yeah, I guess like, subscribe, peel some eyeballs on the Patreon, all the good YouTube stuff, whatever. Let's get into it. Westerners suck at reviewing Eastern MMORPG. And I think that generally Western gamers actually really suck at really reviewing anything that's online and the servers are not located near them. That's really going to be the main crutch here. But it goes a little bit deeper when it comes to specifically MMO and then even further RPG. Yeah, so right now, I was kind of holding off on doing this video. I wanted it to be a little bit more essay-ish, but right now there's a lot of really hype games that are being released, either now coming ported to the West, but they were Eastern, and people are wondering like why I didn't cover them. Or there's a bunch of games right now that have open betas, and their servers are in Japan, or they're Japanese games, like they're full out, just like they are Japanese games. They're not in English, they're on Japanese servers, or Korea especially. South Korea is a powerhouse. Basically, South Korea is kind of like the new Japan in many ways, actually, in many industries. You guys haven't watched a bunch of the newer South Korean films, they're fantastic actually. Parasite was amazing this past year, and there's some that I need to catch up on. But anyways, South Korea is pretty hype when it comes to the MMO space, but so is Japan as well. So is Japan. Yeah, anyways, South Korea and Japan doing some really good stuff. But am I covering it? Am I looking into it? And that's MMO or otherwise, really. There's going to be a couple of actually like some fighting games. There's going to be really not like MMO, but they're co-op looter-based games. I'm not covering those titles for a couple of reasons. And the main one, just immediately, the main one that really gets me is going to be server location. So I do take my games kind of seriously sometimes, even though I know my first looks are not even really reviews, but I just really love the raw reactions, and I love taking games seriously and attempting to play them competitively. I'm the first one to tell you, like, I'm casual when it comes to Smash and stuff like that, but I play Smash to play online, to get better, to better myself, maybe eventually do some tournaments, things like that. I play with the end goal, or really just like the spirit of competition, and that's even gonna go for MMOs. I will go and play to challenge myself. Even if the game is easy, I go with certain goals, or like any goal whatsoever. But whenever I play a game that has some weird fucky like horrible FPSs, or it's like really glitchy, or namely if it's very laggy. If the game is incredibly laggy, I won't play that. And that's going to be the case with every single game with a foreign server. Now, a lot of these reviewers will tell you that, oh, I don't really notice the ping. I'm sorry, but I'm going to call you out there. That's just not the case. You will feel it in some way if you actually take the game seriously. Now, maybe some games like RuneScape, the tick rate is so low, and Final Fantasy XIV, that you can totally have fun and play the game and enjoy it. But for me personally, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. I want to play as pristinely as possible. I'm the kind of guy who has a 144 hertz monitor, you know, like just play Overwatch. Like I'm really serious about that. You have people who buy fighting sticks and maybe even don't even play online. They just play locals and LANs because they love the pristine feel of playing fighting games. And a lot of people can say, well, you know, a lot of these MMOs, they are just designed to be casual. They're designed to be a certain way. You're not really supposed to play them competitively. And I totally get it, guys. I actually really do. And you can have fun, you can do that. But for me, every single game that I play, if there is something that gets in the way of me playing to the best of my ability, you know, it honestly just completely turns me off. So one game was actually Gigantic. Gigantic had a 60 FPS lock, but Gigantic is a shooter, and it had a number of other really awful things. Like a lot of people, when they play shooters, they hate it when there's no FOV slider. That's another thing. There's just certain things that prohibit players to really play to the best of their ability, or you know, they can even make you physically sick. And ping really gives me that feeling. You know, really high ping If I'm not really playing the game, if it's laggy, people are teleporting, or even very subtly, if I press a button and it takes a whole second for something to happen, and it's just very inconsistent, I'm not gonna have fun. In a lot of these games that are being designed in Korea and Japan, games like Blade and Soul, Black Desert Online, when they eventually do come to the West, they're not that great unless you're right next to the servers, which, by the way, I do live next to the servers currently, so I can have fun, I can play the game. But even then, it's still not as good as it is in Korea and Japan because they're designed with a certain infrastructure in mind. So they can have these crazy action-packed, high reaction speed games that look so exciting to watch, but when you actually play it, trust me guys, have you played Blade and Soul? Have you played Black Desert? I think you know where I'm getting at this. It starts to feel really weird. Now imagine playing, well, I like Black Desert Online right now, but if it was over a VPN on a Korean server, it starts to look pretty fucky. So, those games can look as hype as hell, and these YouTubers can play these games and say they're reviewing it and say it's so great. The balance is great. You can't really listen to anything they say. You can't. So it's just impossible. So I'm not even gonna play it. So basically the only thing that I would be able to do as a content creator is basically like just kind of show off the graphics, just show off the UI, just the stuff that other people are already doing. So, they want to coast, they want to just, hey, here's the game, basically an extended trailer, let them do that. But that's not what I really do here. I want to play games, I want to talk shit, I want to have fun, I want to have a personality injected into my videos. A lot of people don't do that, so watch them, get your information, your education from those guys. That's not me. I want to go a little bit deeper, so at most I'll do a pre-impressions, be like, oh, this does look good. But whenever somebody is playing a game like this and they aren't playing it to the best of their ability, and they're like reviewing the game or talking about the game, I just can't really trust what they have to say. No, I'm sorry, I can't. So that's the main reason, is ping really matters. And to a lot of people, you're gonna say it doesn't matter to you. That's totally fine. But to me, it matters so much. It matters so much. And I think in the end, in the long haul, whenever you do play these games, like it might be fun at first, but eventually it'll wear on you. Like if a game, let's say like BDO, how it has that constant pop in and characters kind of lag and stutter about, that really fatigues your eyes. A game that should be so beautiful and moves so quickly, your internet can't keep up. And I'm saying that because I've got fiber internet and I'm actually located near the American servers. So, it's just not good enough. I'm definitely not going to risk it for these Japanese and Korean games. I'm sorry, I'm not going to play Lost Ark. I'm not going to play Phantasy Star Online 2, well, until it comes to the West. I didn't play Dragon's Dogma or the Monster. I'm not going to play any of those. Because to me, how a game feels is the most important thing. That's why I play games like Overwatch, Smash Bros. I play these really high intensity, high skill ceiling competitive games because there's a feeling attached to them and there's a solidness to the gameplay. And yeah, I'll mess around with games like Paladins and Black Desert Online, but for the most part, I do prefer some things, and if I can just totally avoid some other things, then I will. So yeah, ping, issues, foreign servers, I'm not going to do it. Then extending into the MMORPG aspect, you can't really join guilds. And that's something that I would love to complain about as well, maybe even a separate video, is I think that I really hate notice a lot of MMO YouTubers don't play with other people. And maybe sometimes they'll play with one other person, but notice like they almost never have guilds, or they never really talk about it or cover the game with a multitude of people or with a party. It's always just solo first impressions. And, a couple of times I have done a few collaborations with some friends on some older games. That's been a good time. I would love to continue to do that. So if you guys want to join and like make a whole party, like, I don't know, we can all stream and play together, that'd be great. And you don't even have to be a streamer. I want to play with you guys to review these games with you in real time. We actually did that with For Honor. It was a tremendous time, sorry, with how many people actually came, and we had fun. We did 1v1s and stuff. It was a really cool thing. Maybe we could do that with Dauntless, who knows? But anyways, when it comes to MMOs, you really do want to review them from the perspective of guilds, as well as a solo player and party players. And, just like there's a whole variety of ways to play an MMO, and nobody covers those different ways to play the game. It's always just, hey, here I am doing my first impressions, which is mostly what I've done in the past as well. That's what everyone does. But that's the thing, is like, that's kind of a problem. So especially so when you're playing these Japanese games, you're not really a part of the community. You're not really a part of guilds. You're not going to experience that gameplay. And then further deeper with MMORPGs specifically, people who talk about playing the game or whatever, there's just no way they can say any, like, there's no way they can review a non-English game when you can't know the story, you can't read the story, you can't actually learn the mechanics or the balancing of the game whatsoever. You have no idea what your abilities really do, so you have no idea how balanced the game really is. There's really nothing that you can say at all. At most, you can just play the game and be like, oh, there's pretty colors. Oh, look, I'm pressing buttons, things are happening. Yeah, you know? And it's all really just very fake to me, so I don't appreciate it. I'd literally rather have no commentary whatsoever, which is something that actually Stepperoo does. That's a journalistic site. So you just play the game, you record it, you upload it, there. It's just raw gameplay footage. And that's it. Anything else that's actually comes from those videos is kind of just fake and bullshit, in my opinion. No offense to those who are so excited about the game. You know, you're going out, you're playing it, you're streaming it for your fans. That's you, but it's not me. So that's what I'm going to say. I would love to be more toxic, but I don't think I really can. So anyways, and then lastly, also there's like legality about that. And there's a lot of awkwardness and trouble that goes with playing foreign games, especially Korean and Japanese games, where you have to have like a Japanese address or a Korean ID even to get some of these accounts. You often will get banned, and it just seems really awkward and awful. And then also people like to really promote like, oh, hey, get a VPN. Oh, hey, go play this game. We could jump in right now. But these kind of games are about, daily or weekly playing, maybe coming back every month, really consistent grinding, consistently coming back and, of course, playing with a guild, playing with friends, making friends. And if you are just going to temporarily play an MMO RPG for a little bit, that's totally fine too. I actually promote that style of gameplay in a way, but you're forced into that gameplay, and I don't think that's really healthy. You're trying to play a game and you're going to burn out also on the mechanics. Like a lot of MMOs just aren't as fun as non-MMO games in terms of like the raw physical gameplay, because of the certain limitations that they have to be online and that they have to be massively multiplayer. So you're not really going to get into the grind. You're not really going to get into the metagame, the guildage, and the actual mechanics. You might as well just go play maybe a game like Monster Hunter or, Destiny or Warframe. Go chill out in those kind of games, though Warframe's netcode's pretty shit. But go play those games. Wait for the game to come into the West where it's localized. You got the language. You can understand what's going on. Your Western guilds are joining in. Then you'll actually be able to play the game with a proper ping, and you'll actually be able to compete. You'll have the best experience that you could have just because you weren't first, and you didn't jump in with the Japanese hype wave. That's fine, guys. That's completely fine, because you don't want to ruin the experience for yourself. It's something that happens a lot with early access games. A game like Slime Rancher, actually, if you played it in early access, it could have kind of ruined it a bit. I think, there's a number of titles where I guess Subnautica, you can play it a little bit and you kind of burn yourself out of it. So you really just want to wait until there's the most amount of content that you can easily access and play competitively at, especially for an online game. You want to wait for that to come to you. So yeah, if you see a Westerner who does not speak the language, even if they do actually, they're in the West, they're in America, or they're in Europe and they're playing a Korean game, the distance is so vast. The ping is an issue, and I just feel like you really can't trust what they say. They're going to have raw reactions, knee-jerk reactions. They're going to say things, but I just think for the most part, just enjoy it as entertainment and look at it educationally, visually. But I really think Westerners suck at reviewing Eastern MMORPG. Just that. But in terms of like qualifications, in terms of critique, I actually think people like Lazy Peon or even Cry, though Cry normally just tells jokes and things, I don't think he even considers himself a reviewer. But I do think those guys can, whenever they do get the opportunity to play a game fairly, can do good and say good criticisms. I don't think Westerners just generally don't get Eastern MMOs, because Cry definitely is a weeb, totally. Absolutely. An MMO bite, they play tons of Eastern MMOs, so they kind of get how things can be cute and silly and casual, and then at the same time a hardcore grind. Like, they get the culture to an extent, so I'm not saying that they suck in that sense. I just think they suck for, well, the reasons that I already gave. That's pretty much guys, I don't really want to have this too winding or winded. So that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoy this kind of more chillaxed platform of ranting and just saying words and things, then yeah, I'll do some more. Absolutely. Hopefully I can kind of throw in my 2 cents for hot topics so I can jump on the algorithmic wave. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool Eastern games that are up and coming that I am excited for. And also, one final note about early access games actually. Temtem, I didn't buy into it because it is early access. Whenever it does actually fully finish, I will probably purchase the game since you guys do support me on Patreon so I can buy games, and then I'll actually play the game and review it and talk about it. But that's the main reason why I didn't buy the game. So yeah, I love looking at new games, talking about new games, but I'm also, I don't know, I guess I'm picky. I guess I'm kind of a snob when it comes to my personal critique. Whether I present myself in that way or not, I really am inspired by Total Biscuit, who kind of just, he was no bullshit. It's like, hey, this is how I feel, and, this is the game, sure, but like, this thing sucks, and blah, 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 right? So that's kind of what I want to do. Just want to say it like it is, just be who I am. And final note as well, I heard your criticisms about the lewd thumbnails. I guess I'm gonna cut back on the lewdness, okay? Even though I do have a Pornhub account, multiple channels, and actually produce content like that. I guess this is the friends and family show. I don't know if you guys want it to be a little bit more sincere with the video games, and I guess we do take video games a little too seriously here. So I guess let's not be too silly. I don't know. Yeah, I'm listening to you guys, trying to be a better YouTuber. We're gonna hit 100K by the end of the year. It's gonna be great. Much love, friends and family. I'll see you in the next one.